This breaking news coming out of St. Louis Park, a car going into a pond with kids inside. Surveillance video of this attack. It was just handed to us a few moments ago. The Wheelock Parkway Bridge and the Arlington Avenue Bridge both have to come down. At this point, it's more than 5 hours ago. Clearly, there is a lot to sort out. St. Paul police are now responding to our story about an investigation. Season ticket holders will be coming here. Millions of people will see pay raises, but it could be at the expense of some jobs here. It's actually happening in Michigan. The state is installing these talking urinal deodorizer cakes, hoping to keep the drunks off of the road. Out at a bar, the women aren't talking to you, but at least the urinal cakes
is.
Welcome back. As you know, for about an hour and a half now, we've been following this breaking news coming out of St. Louis Park, a car going into a pond with kids inside.
We do have team coverage inside.
Are we hearing anything about the conditions of the three we know, at least three, that were taken to the hospital?
We don't know.
We are continuing to follow some breaking news out of St. Louis Park. This for about 2.5 hours now. A car went into a pond with children inside. We know a mother and 5 children were inside the vehicle at the time when this happened, around 6 o'clock this morning. We understand that CPR was performed on them when they were brought out. We don't know the condition of the 5 children. We have crews standing by for a news conference from St. Louis Park that is expected to happen at 9 o'clock in about 35 minutes. We'll continue to update you as we get more information. Let us go over now to Rusty with how the traffic scene is there. Well, helping when it is needed the most. Some local volunteers with the Salvation Army about to hit the road.
Right now they are heading.
Law enforcement and community leaders are teaming up today looking for ways to try to stop young Somali men in our area from being recruited by terrorists. Now, the threat involves the Al-Qaeda-linked terror group Al-Shabaab. Panel is going to be holding a seminar in Bloomington today to examine how local men are being recruited, what can be done to stop it, and the lessons learned following that shopping mall attack in Kenya back in September. Al-Shabaab is claiming responsibility for that 4-day siege that killed 67 people. It's the release of the city's 97 sampler, one of the few CDs nationwide people will wait in line for. Lots of them already are lining up at this Target. This is in Edina. Got the bands playing, music going. The doors, though, are still locked. There are only 40,000 copies available. They cost $33. There are 33 songs on 2 discs this year. It's the 25th volume of the CD, featuring artists like Capital Cities and Matt Hires. CDs go on sale at 8 o'clock this morning, so in about an hour and 45 minutes. As always, the proceeds go to charity. Rush hour traffic can be bad enough in Center City, but come upon a dead street light and civility goes right out the window. Blame it on the weather, says the city's streetlight engineer.
Our service calls have gone up due to the cold weather.
In warmer weather, 3 or 4 lights need fixing in an average day, but when the temp drops into the teens or below...
Last shift, we got somewhere around 33 calls.
10 crews are roaming the city at any given time, but until they get there...
Scared to even step in the street. Go ahead, you call. Thank you.
Shanae Marie felt like she took her own life into her hands. Of the city's nearly 3,000 streetlights, about 60% of them still use technology that dates back to the 1950s.
And as you can see, it's actually a dial unit that moves around.
That spinning dial controls the lights and in cold weather can get stuck. Slowly but surely, the city is updating to a fully computerized system like this one with no moving parts and usually not impacted by the cold. But the cold is keeping Adam here busy.
Yeah, everything's related to the cold. When it gets below freezing, you've got problems.
He arrives here after about 90 minutes and wastes no time.
We got juice, baby.
Flashing yellow is a start, then he reboots the system, and after a few more minutes...
Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Come back to life.
The green, yellow, and red are back. He's got 7 more jobs after this one. His fingers are already a bit numb, but Adam, thinking warm thoughts, has a way with words.
Just like being in the heat, except now you're wearing a coat.
Well, he was the hero tonight, but I think the cold maybe got to his head just a bit. We can tell you that crews are working around the clock. They're doing this 24 hours a day right now through this weather to try to get these lights back up as quickly as possible. If you see one down anywhere in the city of Philadelphia, best advice is to dial 311. Dawn? It was a tree lighting with all the trimmings, festive songs by grade schoolers. The Reading Pagoda Chorus was there.
One seems to hear words of good
Even an ice sculpture on this very frozen night. When you have all this, who cares if your city's Christmas tree isn't all that?
Just look at it. It's just ugly.
Looking around, the lights are just dangling.
I think some guy just said, hey, here's a tree, it's the right size, let's take this one. And they didn't even think about it. Guys don't think about things like that.
So this is a male problem. It's our fault.
Yes.
The reviews early on, not the best. What do you think of the tree?
I love it.
Is it looking a little bare?
It just reminds me of Charlie Brown.
Well, other cities may not exactly be green with envy, but we wanted to know if someone's now in the doghouse.
Oh, well.
Turns out the city's downtown improvement district, which put on the event, had a pretty good explanation. They simply couldn't get to the original tree they chose.
Monday, with the real bad rain we had, the tree was so far in the field that they said we were not allowed to take our equipment in to cut down the tree.
And so this 50-foot Norwegian spruce became a last-second stand-in. And Reading's mayor quick to offer some perspective.
There's people around the world serving our country that would be pleased to have a Christmas tree.
And a funny thing happened when the switch was flipped. Yep, people actually liked it. Even the woman who hated it at first.
The tree just looks lovely.
Suddenly you're a fan.
Sure, why not?
Keep it.
Yeah, we're going to keep it.
In Reading, Brad Sattin, Fox 29 News.
Moments away from the opening kickoff here.
This home was a lot like many others across the Delaware Valley on Eagles Sunday. Fans glued to their TVs watching the action at MetLife Stadium. The Evers family certainly was. And what did you think?
I started to cry.
You started to cry. Yeah. Only what brought a tear to the eyes of Joan Evers and smiles everywhere else. That is really nice. Wasn't what happened during the game, it's what happened moments before it. And it wasn't shown on TV, but it was captured on cell phone video.
Nice, very nice. Is it on right now?
Yes,
recording? How you feeling?
You can see it.
Feeling good? There it is.
By now, you see what's coming. Neither the Eagles nor the Giants are headed to the playoffs, but don't tell Tom O'Connor nothing was at stake. Down on one knee he went. As the Everses from home watched Jana, their daughter, granddaughter, and diehard Eagles fan, get engaged to Tom, a diehard Giants fan.
He's so, he's kind of reserved, so to see him do that, it's very meaningful.
She said yes with a big kiss.
We are New Jersey State Troopers, and we met on the job, and today I got my ring.
They met at the police academy and kicked off their engagement at kickoff.
Gets things started.
Jana, a 5-year veteran of the Air Force, flying high.
It's kind of a dream come true.
Luckiest guy I could be.
And so the happy couple plans to share their lives together, just not their football teams. We're being told when the Eagles play the Giants next year here in Philly, we shouldn't expect Tom to make the conversion. At the link, Brad Sattin, Fox 29 News.
After all these years.
Mary Higgins still emotional even 63 years later. 1951 was the last time anyone heard from her brother-in-law, Corporal Robert Higgins, just 20 years old, fighting in the Korean War.
My husband, he enlisted, and Lou, the other brother, he enlisted. Army, Navy, and Marines. 3
brothers all serving their country, but it was Robert who never came home. Bob, as he went by, the thoughtful son, regularly writing to his worried mom on February 9th, 1951, telling her everything's okay, that he was in fairly high spirits. But it wasn't to last. 4 days after writing this letter, Robert, fighting in one of the most gruesome battles of the war, was captured. There was still hope, though, thanks to a letter from another POW who wrote that Corporal Higgins, weeks later, was still in good health.
That he saw Bob, they were in a battle, and that he was okay when he saw him.
But then the leads dried up.
We didn't hear anything at all, nothing.
Nothing for 6 decades until a few days ago, thanks to Bob's nephew Fred, who himself served during Vietnam, recently sent the Army a DNA sample, and prayers were answered.
And that's how they were able to match my brother Fred's DNA with Uncle Bob's bones, his remains.
60 years later plus.
Yes.
Are you just shocked?
Isn't it wonderful? It's a miracle.
Robert Higgins' name, of course, is listed here at the Korean War Memorial at Penn's Landing. Until now, it's been the only physical place family members could come to reflect on his passing. That will change, though, when he's buried at Washington Crossing National Cemetery.
I used to think that he was going to come to my door one day. So I guess he did in a way.
Brad Sattin, Fox 29 News.